Hello good people, welcome to my YouTube channel. Self-publishing a book on a budget really does not mean that you compromise on the quality of work that you give, because your book is also going to be read in the market with many other books that have been published traditionally or otherwise. You need to put a top-notch kind of quality. That means that the language used in the book, the cover that is used, the material that is even used in printing should be top-notch kind of material. Self-publishing on a budget does not mean that you will not spend any coin in publishing your work. It is possible not to spend a coin while publishing your book, but I would advise in one case or another to actually consult a profession so that you can meet the quality mark, or you can be of a better quality in the market. So the first thing that you need in self-publishing is the internet. You will do a lot of reference. If you're watching this, it's something that is interesting you and it's something that you're looking into, and I'm sure you will learn something, and from what you learn here, I'm sure you'll implement it somewhere else. In the same case, you need the internet to research, to know what is being used by majority authors who are self-publishing, to understand the different softwares that are used in self-publishing. The second thing that you will need that will cut you cost is a computer. It could be a desktop, it could be a laptop, but something that you can use without actually having to go to a cyber, because going to a cyber means spending a lot of money. In the same case, having a home internet is better than actually buying bundles, because as you can see, in the long run it's going to be cheaper, because you're going to do a lot of research, a lot of uploading, a lot of downloading. Now that you have internet and you have computer, you will also need a software. For me, I did publish with Kindle for Amazon, and so I really needed to understand Kindle publishing, and so I did download Kindle. I used Amazon a lot just to compare what other authors have published, what their material looks like, and I found it really helpful to me. So once you have these three things, you have your script that is already edited, that is already looked into, that looks well put together, then it's time to work on actually publishing the book. Here is where I tell you the small amounts of money that you may have to spend so that you may have a high quality job, but at the same time on a budget. First thing is, even though you're publishing with Kindle, you really need to understand how to format your book, how to format the size of the book, how to arrange the words in the book, how to do your cover. It is possible to actually self-format your book through Kindle. You can format your cover, you can design your own book cover, you can design the inside pages of your book. If you want to meet a specific standard or quality in your publication, it's important that you do consult with professionals, a professional designer, somebody who understands Kindle and who can format on Kindle to help you in organizing and arranging your book. Once that is done, the other place you will spend your money is when you're buying your copyright and buying your ISBN. Again, when you're Kindle publishing, these are tools that are available to you for free. However, if you're looking into publishing locally or publishing on international standards, it is important that you buy these things for yourself. So the way you can save money here is to actually use the copyright provided for you on Kindle, and also using the ISBN which is provided for you on Kindle. Should you buy these services in future, Kindle does allow you to change and put the ones that you have bought and the ones you have full ownership to. So once you've published your book on Kindle, it will be available on Amazon for people to buy and to read. However, before you make it available, it's usually advisable that you get a proof copy. A proof copy is a physical copy of your book that you get to actually look and see if there are any mistakes, or if the outlook is as you'd want your clients to look at. The different ways you can go about this. So I'm talking to you about self-publishing while I'm in Kenya, and I did do all these processes here in Kenya. I found it very easy to actually import my book through Posta. However, I did opt to get a local printer here and to discuss with them and give them the exact measurements that I used on Kindle. Usually on your Kindle administrative site, you're able to have this information. So I used the same exact measurements I had on Kindle and the same format I had on Kindle. I gave it to a printer to do for me a proof copy, and he's also the one who is printing. That's another way to actually save on cost, because importing your book from Amazon simply means that you're going to incur other shipping costs. However, I must note that Amazon does publish your book and it makes it available print on order. So that means that you don't have a storage of books somewhere lying around without making any profit. When somebody orders your book, at that moment it is printed for them and it is delivered to them. On your end, when you want a book from Amazon, all you need to pay is the printing cost, which usually depends with the number of pages of your book and the size of your book. So it's quite a cheap and fair way of doing business. However, I must tell you that you will spend on shipping cost, especially if you want to ship bulks, if you want to ship many books for selling. So that is why I chose to actually find a printer here in Kenya and agree with them to print for me. Even for myself, they're actually doing a print on order agreement. Once all this is done, you need to create a fuss about your book. In a future video, I will be telling you about some of the mistakes I made when it came to releasing my book and when it came to marketing strategy. But I must tell you that from my own experience and from the mistakes I made, I do know that you need to create a fuss about your book, and the cheapest way to do this is to use social media. You need to talk to your friends on Facebook, you need to talk to your friends on Twitter, you need to talk to your friends on Instagram. And when I say talk to them, I do not mean you bombard them with information about your book. I also do not mean that you tell them word by word what your book is about. I mean you form a creative way to talk about your book. You can also collaborate with other bloggers who can talk about your book on your behalf and who can also talk about you as an author. It really does play a major role in marketing your work. Also, feel free to talk to your friends, to talk to their friends about your book. I did realize, depending with the genre and the kind of story you've written, you can attract people to reading your book depending with their experiences in life. For example, The Budding Tree is a book about a woman who has undergone infertility, and by that nature it's very easy for me to identify to a female audience and to identify with women who have undergone infertility issues in one stage of their lives or another, and women who have had miscarriages. For this reason, it was quite easy for me to talk to women in my surrounding, and they did talk to their friends, and I ended up actually having sales out of those circles. So it's also important that you discuss with people, you become very open about your book. You never know where you will benefit from it. So that's it for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give it a like if you have, and if you haven't subscribed, I do invite you to follow me so that we may grow together in the journey of self-publishing, and so that we may also discuss other interesting things about life. Until next time, goodbye.